Looking live. A little bit on the downside. Can I put something there? Let's see. Try to prop you up a little better. Let's see here what I can do. Hanging out in the shop life right now, trying to do another live, of course. That's not too bad. Let's see if I can try to make that a little better. So it's Saturday. What's everybody doing? What's happening, everybody? Boom. All right, that's not too bad. Get a great view of the Paramotors. We could back you up a little bit too, I guess. Boom. Get all the stuff here in the one live. Paramotor live. Alright, so we got here my helmet. I have a little issue here going on with the helmet. My helmet keeps being very staticky, like when I go up and do my flights in the beginning, and it's so ironic that like every time I go take it up for a flight, it'll be very static. And reason being, I found out that I used to have this battery charger on the back. So what I started to do was take that off, and then I realized I had a wire in here that was kind of just flopping around. And that wire that was flopping around was actually causing my issues up in the air. So this is totally a helmet that Tucker actually flies with, and this is the same replica helmet that he flies with. I built the same thing from his YouTube channel, which is pretty epic. I kind of wanted to have, I guess, a very similar setup, but the idea was, when I built this helmet, it wasn't for having a YouTube channel. The time being, it was actually for trying to like see like where I would do my mess ups at, and I absolutely love this style helmet. I think it's really cool for a pilot, and also trying to be, say, a type of a YouTuber. The idea was, I had the Cena headset, with the mic, so I could be able to, like talk to my friends and stuff like that, or like say my mentor who was teaching me how to fly while I was up in the air. And then obviously having the GoPro on the front was just like an added bonus to the whole helmet situation. And being able to do this, I was able to not only talk to, say, my mentor or the guy who was showing me how to fly up in the air, being able to talk to him on the ground, I was able to watch what my issues were up in the air as well. And like for me, I knew I was going to be doing a lot of self-training at the same time as being taught how to fly. And being a paramotor pilot, you're supposed to go out and go get properly trained. You're supposed to go to schooling for about 2 to 3 weeks, depending on how the weather actually really is. And like for me, I just realized I was going to have to start doing a lot of things on my own. And that's what caused me to get all these GoPros that I have to be able to watch myself in all type of different angles. The reason why I wanted to have the chase cam, which the chase cam's back here, which I've been doing these lives now kind of frequently, and I'm trying to really explain to everybody why I'm doing all this stuff. And reason being, the why I wanted to have, let's say, the chase cam was because I would be able to watch myself from behind. Having the helmet cam, I'd be able to see what I'm doing in front of me, and then having an obvious selfie stick was the all-around being able to see the beginning of my takeoffs and my landings from a front view, from say the chase cam view, from being from behind, which is pretty epic. And what I use, which some of you already know that have been watching my lives, I use the GoPro 7 on the chase cam. Reason being is chase cam likes to freeze up on me sometimes, so I'm not too, I guess, bummed out whether if the chase cam was to freeze up on me or it's behind me, because this camera gets pretty beat up in the long run. And it's a pretty sweet camera actually all around, other than the fact that it does freeze up on me. And I've read a lot of reviews that the GoPro 7 not only does it to me, it does it to a lot of other pilots up in the air. So GoPro 7, you know what I mean? This is my big birdie, I like to call it. It's like a big birdie in badminton. You guys know what badminton is, right? So this right here, you guys can see that there's a clip on here. This clips to my tail edge of my wing, you know? So you have your leading edge where the wind goes into the sail, and then you have your tail edge, which is the back of the Paramotor glider. And so this hooks up, and it, you know, it's basically like something like this, you know, and it's super epic. I absolutely love it. And like I said, the whole reason why I wanted to have the chase cam was the obvious reason of being able to see my view from behind me in my takeoff and my landings. And then, like I was just saying, leave that right there on top of the hot rod. And like I said, this is my helmet cam. I built this because obviously everybody sees Tucker Gott's videos. This is a helmet that I built, the exact same that Tucker Gott has. Same exact helmet. So I built it to the T like how he did it. I did a couple little different modifications to it, but overall it's the same exact helmet. And the reason being why I wanted this helmet so bad, because my mentor who was teaching me how to fly, in the beginning of my ground training, it was really easy to obviously hear him on the ground when, you know, you don't have a paramotor running on your back. That I knew that when the time was to come and I was going to actually be up in the air, I had no way of talking to anybody. And then watching all of, say, Tucker Gott's videos, he did a step-by-step on how to build a really cool helmet, which is what you guys see here. And the idea is, here's the Cena headset Bluetooth setup. You know, you hold these two buttons down right here. It turns it right on, boom, and right now it's actually Bluetooth to my phone right now, which we are actually doing this video on. So right now, boom, you just saw a double light up. Oh, it's trying to Bluetooth right now. My Bluetooth actually might be off, but so right now what's going on is that it's gonna Bluetooth right to my phone. And once that's Bluetooth to it, then like you make a phone call due to my mentor while I was actually flying in the beginning. I was up in the air and he was on the ground, making sure that I was being a safe flyer. And just to turn it off, you just push these two back in. Boom, it's off. And overall, like, that's really why I wanted to build this helmet, was to be able to definitely talk to my mentor or my instructor at the time for when I was learning how to fly. And then what was so cool was that obviously when you're doing the build, you get the option of having the GoPro on the front, which, you know, this goes right in. And then you guys can't tell, but I did a lot of custom work inside the helmet. So, you know, it hooks right up to the Cena, so you guys can hear me while it's running behind me pretty nice and quietly without it being like super loud and annoying, you know. And like when these things are running, they're super loud, you know. And not only that, the whole idea was not to become a YouTuber in the beginning. Like for me, all I wanted to do was to try to study myself while I was up in the air flying. Like, meaning, like I wanted to have all these different angles of attack, see what I was doing while I was up in the air. And then, you know, obviously having the chase cam, which is a really cool view from behind you, which is like, it's actually almost about like, I guess 10 feet to about maybe 12 feet behind me in a cool view. And then having the helmet cam, I can hear myself talking, see what I'm doing. And then, you know, I always wanted to have that 360 view, you know, where like you see some people have like as a selfie stick that they sit on while they're flying a paramotor. So I got myself one of these, which has two lenses on it, one here, one here. I have caps on here because I've learned my lesson that if I don't keep the caps on it, it will scratch. And not only that, this captures a really cool 360 view. And when this selfie stick is up in front of me and it's, you know, it can like go so zoomed out so far that I can really see how my takeoffs are, how my landings are, and all around, this is like a sweet camera to have for trying to self-study yourself, I guess, in a way, other than maybe trying to be a really good content creator, which I'm trying to be. You know, I love being a YouTuber. I love this journey that I'm on, and I love that in the beginning, it was all about how I can study myself and be a better... I have so many people texting me right now at the same time, and how to be a better pilot, you know. The whole idea was when building the Tucker Gott helmet, which you guys see right here. I even picked the same color because I was so intrigued by how Tucker Gott really was with his epic videos and how much of a great pilot he is and was then, you know. And all around, this is just a sweet setup to have. Like, if you're trying to become a pilot, I don't know what you're really in it for, but for me, I wanted to be sure that the times that I was by myself, which was most of the time, I wanted to always video and see what I was doing. That's what intrigued me to get, the Chase Cam, GoPro 7. This was my first camera that I actually built for the helmet. And then come to realize, I was getting so upset with the fact that that camera would freeze on me at times that it was really upsetting to have it on the helmet where, everyone was trying to like listen to me talk while I was up in the air and whatever. And to be quite honest, like it would freeze, but it wouldn't like stall freeze. It would freeze the frame. So meaning like you would hear me talking still in the whole hour flight or hour and a half flight, but it would be like stuck at that 14 to 16 seconds in on the flight, which was so annoying. But regardless, I got the GoPro 11 now on here. You guys can see it's got the 11, but what you got to do is you got to take the cover off here on the side to be able to have it actually plugged in, like where you would charge it at. And this right here is actually hardwired into my Cena headset Bluetooth. And this makes it, like I said, so you guys can hear me talking up in the air pretty clearly, which is pretty sweet. So, but yeah, so I got my mic right here, you guys can see it. And this is how I'm able to talk while I'm up in the air, and so you don't have to hear the motor, one of these two paramotors that are like screaming behind me, which, they're not that loud. They're loud, but like when you're at like 3,500 Rs to say 6,500 Rs, then it's super loud. Like when we're playing it around idle to maybe like 2,500 Rs, like when you're just giving it a little gas to keep it up going, it's not so bad, but they are screamers. It's a 4-foot propeller basically that's spinning. That's what's super loud. And overall, it's a high-performance 2-stroke engine that are on both of these models. I have on both of these two Vitarazi Moster 185s, and to be honest, that's the way to go. Like if you're trying to be an everyday pilot, trying to do all kinds of things, you should actually go for the Moster 185. Hands down, they're both very reliable. This is actually considered the MY20, a 2020, and that one over there is a 2022, the MY22. And what incredible models. They're both amazing. They're both a little bit different for their years, obviously, but all around, they're just these incredible engines. And, my MY20, I got the 2-blade on here, which is sweet. On my MY22, I do have the 3-blade, which you guys can kind of tell if I move it like this. Yeah, that's the 3-blade E-prop, and the 3-blade is so epic. There's like a huge difference in the game when you have a third prop to the aircraft motor. You talk about an easier takeoff, such a smoother climb rate, better on fuel. And me and my one buddy, my mentor, who actually taught me how to fly, we took both of these up. And you guys can actually check that out in one of my latest videos that I just dropped on YouTube. And what's so sweet is that it's an incredible difference with the 3-blade compared to the 2-blade on a fuel range. Don't get it wrong, we both did have two totally different wings, which I kind of wish that I had two similar wings to actually be more of a matching comparison. But regardless, I was able to basically burn about a gallon less than what my mentor did with the 2-blade. And don't get it wrong, his wing was definitely faster, and he was definitely maybe doing more things than I was. But in the end, it was a crazy fuel difference, and I do like to strongly believe that it was something to do with him having the 2-blade, for me having a 3-blade, Very epic stuff, super cool. I hope that you guys do enjoy my videos. That's why I actually want to come on here and do these lives more. And the reason why I like jumping on these lives is I try to want to interact with you guys that are actually watching, the guys that are subscribed to my channel. Like, I live here in South New Jersey, and I would love to know what you guys are trying to see. I've been trying to really study the algorithm, the audience a lot more than me just wanting to make a video of what I actually want to make. And all in all, it's all about you guys, and it's obviously about what makes me happy too in the same time. And I do really like doing these videos. I'm really not used to doing the lives. I'm trying to get more used to doing a live video. So that's why I'm trying to come on here a couple times a week. Like I was just saying yesterday, I was doing it live, and I was thinking more and less to be like Wednesday nights to Friday nights. But here we are today on a Saturday night. And, well, it's not night yet, but it's 5:30 my time, Eastern time. I hear one of my cats trying to get in. Hold on 1 second. Lulu, is that Lulu? Is that a Lulu call? So if I don't let my cats in, they'll start to cry like crazy. So I just figured I might as well let my cats in. So this is my paramotoring hot rod shop, street rod shop, I should call it. And you know, I have a lot of cool projects that are going on. We just found out, if you guys have been watching my videos, my Corvette actually blew up. It didn't like blow up. I didn't hurt one of the pistons. It seems like that one of my rocker arms dropped all the way down to the bottom of the motor. And I don't know that for sure yet, but I'm definitely assuming that my camshaft broke because my rotor isn't spinning anymore, which is kind of, I want to curse, but it's really a big shame that it stopped spinning, because that means that my camshaft broke. And the reason why I think it broke is that my back lifters on the rockers aren't moving anymore, and that's really odd when all the rest is moving. So it makes me lead to believe that I didn't break my timing chain or anything like that. So I'm just assuming that my camshaft broke towards the back end where it meets to the distributor, and that's where that's at right now. And like I said, yesterday we did a pre-flight inspection on both of these paramotors to make sure that they're actually airworthy and ready to go back up in the air, which they are. So now, once I normally do that for a pre-flight inspection on the aircraft, I'll normally break down and make sure that all my gear is actually ready to go. So typically speaking, you know, all I do is, you know, you got to charge your Cena headset, which is right here. I have a plug-in in the backside here. This Cena headset too now is actually right there. That's where I plug it in for that to charge the Cena. Obviously, I got a regular plug-in, you know, right there for the GoPro to have that charging. And then, you know, obviously the same thing for my chase cam, which, you know, chase cam is so sick. I actually really love this camera view. This view on the camera is like something else. It's really nice. It's epic to get that kind of view. And this is like a big birdie, you know. Absolutely love it. It's a sweet view, actually. But regardless, you know, I just like being a YouTuber. I like trying to be an inspirer in the same sense. You know, that was never the idea in the beginning. The whole point was of me having all these camera views was just to teach myself how to be better. And of course, I wanted to have like something like Tucker Gott had, you know, the man, the coolest guy out there that does paramotoring. And to me, you know, like I might not fly a Parajet Maverick like Tucker Gott does. You know, I've got to work on a couple of them. They're super sick. And what's so funny to find out about the Parajet, the back deck that I built for the for the street rod to have it on the back, it wouldn't even work. So I would have to actually frame out a whole nother back setup for my Model A just to have the Parajet Maverick on the back. So ironically speaking, you know, Sky Maxes are basically built for the Model A life, you know, and I absolutely love it. And right now, I do have right behind the camera the Fly product frame right now, which is actually my mentor's. I'm trying to figure out what to do with it. I'm trying to find another motor for it. If you guys have any suggestions, I would love for you guys to drop some comments. And obviously, this Fly product frame obviously had an electric start on it, and the reason why I know that is because it has a battery holder spot on it. So, like for me, with these two models behind me, they're both pull start setup, electric at all to them, outside of, say, the coil pack setups for the spark plugs. But regardless of that, you know, it's a, you know, I'm not trying to say I'm against having an electric start. It's just less problems to have, obviously, down the road. And for me, I'm just all about trying to be a YouTuber. I'm trying to inspire you guys in a way. I'm trying to do some really cool epic giveaways that are upcoming, you know, like I would love to think that we could potentially give a paramotor away eventually. But for right now, I'm going to give away one of my paramotor wings, which is very exciting. And the way I'm going to do that is I have a really cool t-shirt designs that I'm about to drop on my website, which I don't want anybody to miss out on. It's something that I've been working on for the last couple months. It's been something that I'm trying to, I guess, say in the long run, I'm trying to be really perfect about it, but there's nothing perfect in this life, so I got to knock that off a little bit. But my idea is I want to drop 3 t-shirt designs, a couple stickers, and be able to give away my first Paramotor glider to one of you who have never had the experience to be able to change one of your lives. And by just being able to buy one t-shirt, you know, get yourself an entry to win. You know, I don't want anybody to miss out. I obviously think that doing a giveaway like that would be very inspiring for me and to you, you know. And not only that, I'm in the mix of building another one of these helmets, so I'm thinking about maybe doing a giveaway on the Tucker Got helmets as well. But, you know, we'll just see how all this goes. We'll see how this, you know, pans out. And for me, like I said, I'm just trying to inspire you guys. Dude, there's nothing like being a paramotor pilot. There's nothing cooler than running into the sky. I honestly believe that this type of flying, there's actually nothing greater than it. And I hope that you guys do see that. I hope that you guys do enjoy some of my videos that I do make, you know. And it's actually really hard to go up in the air, go fly for like 2 hours at a time, and then try to make like a video like 8 minutes. You know, that's so hard to edit. It's super... To me, it's almost kind of annoying to do in a way, but I enjoy it so much that I don't want to stop doing it. Like, when you have 3 different camera angles, the helmet cam, the chase cam, and then you also have the selfie stick, it's so hard to edit all 3 of them into 8 minutes, you know, or let's say 5 minutes, you know, when you do a flight for 2 hours, you know, like, don't get me wrong, all before I go fly, I try to think of a creative idea for a video for you guys to watch, and then, you know, I try to edit it, and then it's just, it takes like a whole week to sometimes even 2 weeks to do, and it's not easy. And like I said, I'm not complaining about it. I really enjoy doing it. It's tough at times, but, you know, there's a lot of other things that are much harder in life to do. But when you're trying to be a video creator, it's just a whole nother ball game. You know, the game has changed in a lot of ways from being a regular carpenter, which is what my 9 to 5 is. I'm just a regular average carpenter who goes out. I build decks for a living. I do like maybe small siding jobs. Sometimes I'll do a roof repair. But regardless, I kind of aim for the deck work. But other than that, like the garage that we're all hanging out in right now, I built this garage with my dad, of course, and the help of my stepbrother. And even my neighbor, Dennis, he came over here the day he saw me throwing up these roof rafters. These are called roof rafters that are up here. And man, I'll never forget how he came right over and was like, "What are we doing? Let's do this." And that was really cool because I'm not one to ever ask anybody for help. And it was awesome. And he stuck it out until we had all the joists up. And then I started the plywood. He was the man, you know, same with my dad and my stepbrother. And regardless of that, being a YouTuber is one of the most dream come trues things that I could have ever asked for. Like, knowing that now that I'm monetized here on YouTube and I get paid to make these videos, it's super awesome, inspiring for me. It's cool to know that I have people that are mostly strangers that watch me do these videos. And all I'm trying to do is show you guys how awesome it is to become a paramotor pilot. And really, like I said, I want to get to the point where I'm starting to give these away, and it'd be really cool to be making enough money on YouTube to give them away all the time. Let alone, you know, you can't just give them away to anybody. The idea that I want to do is be able to give away training first, paramotor gliders, that's what you obviously fly, and then eventually be giving away the paramotors. You know, the paramotors is like the last thing I want to be giving away, but I want to be giving them away. There's nothing cooler than the sport for me. I loved it so much that I had to have 2 with the Moster 185s on both. And not only was I so obsessed, I had to have one with the 3-blade, which Tucker Got signed, which is epic. And then, of course, you know, I have the 2-blade. And my paw, just so you guys know, the reason why I have the orange tips on here, which you guys can see the orange, and I also have this orange, the plate. I wanted them orange because that was my Papaw's favorite color. And his airplane, he had a Ryan Navion airplane, which I'm actually in the hunt to find, which I have found it. It lives over in Texas now. His plane was orange, which is so cool. And that's the reason why I did that, you know. And the same with the other prop that's up on the wall, which you guys can just see right here. I painted these orange for the same reason, because that was my Papaw, my great I'm sorry, my grandfather's favorite color. It keeps moving on. There we go. That was my Papal's favorite color, and that's the reason why I kind of pushed to have that. And man, you know, like the orange tips looks amazing. I'm trying to actually debate on whether to do that to the 3-blade E-prop next, which I probably will in time, probably once I get a little bit more wear and tear on it, where I won't care so much about it, which I don't mean to say that I don't care about it, but you know, like both of my E-props that I have, the one that's up on the wall and then this one, you know, I got a lot of time on both of those props, and I've actually heard them both too, actually. But regardless, what's going on, everybody? What's happening? What are you guys doing over where you're at? Today in South New Jersey, we have super high winds, which is kind of a bummer because I thought I was going to be able to go flying today. That was the whole reason why I did the live yesterday. It was showing something a little bit different on the flight plans. That's why I did a pre-flight inspection on the Expedition and the Star, which right now they're both ready to go up in the air to go flying around. So normally after they're ready to go, I get ready with all my other gear, make sure all my cameras are nice and charged, make sure my Cena headset is actually charged. And you know, I've broken my chase cam actually so many times that I always double check this too every single time because I'm always so nervous about this thing. This thing's got so much super glue and JB Weld all over it that I'm surprised that it still actually flies the way it does. I actually did have to move it. You guys can see that I have these holes here in the chase cam for where the string actually goes. And that's obviously for the weight of the camera in the front. So you can see that I have this basically pretty balanced out pretty well. But regardless of that, put this back here on the hood of the A. It took me a couple times to actually figure out where it had to be, and then obviously adding all that glue and stuff to it definitely changed the spots of the holes on the glide rate, or the balance, I should say, of the chase cam. But regardless, you know, I hope that you guys all enjoyed. I wanted to hop on this little live, kind of try to see who would come on, who wouldn't, see what's going on, see if I can get some of my Paramotor pilot buddies up on here. And yeah, like I said, we're just here hanging out in my shop, doing a couple things. I dropped one of my latest videos this morning, and I do have a couple other ones that I've been working on, so I hope that you guys do enjoy them as well. And for now, I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Until the next one, I'll probably hop on another live in a little bit, see if it makes anything of a difference in time. I'm trying to, like I said, really learn how to get used to doing these lives and kind of see when the best time it is to do a live. So, like I said, I appreciate all of you watching. Until the next one,